Did you think the Ghosts Outside album, the dub album of Boys, would be actually as good as it turned out to be? Because it exceeded a lot of people's expectations, I think.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, no, I did, yeah, because Dennis is, he's just a colossus in terms of his creativity.
And this is Dennis Bovell, just so...
Yeah, Dennis Bovell.
Price like sugar or rice. Refusal of no friends if it's just selfishness. I'm talking about a living in a Babylon. I'm talking about surviving in a Babylon.
What I like about Dennis is, I mean, a lot of reggae producers and kind of dub guys, they stay within that genre. I sometimes think some of them are too afraid to step outside it in case they fall foul of the sort of reggae mafia or whatever. But Dennis doesn't really care about any of that. He's always been into everything, you know, whether it's Edwyn Collins or the pop group or the Slits or me or whatever it is, you know, he genuinely has no boundaries. And see, originally I thought maybe it would just be an EP. When we were doing it, it came to I Let Her In, which is probably one of the saddest songs I've ever written, and it's just basically acoustic guitar and a vocal pretty much. I said to him, I think maybe you just skip this one because I just don't think it's possible to do it with this one. I just don't know if it'll work. And he took a massive pull in his spliff and he went, "You smoke enough of this, mate? You can find the reggae in anything." It's not really Dennis's voice, but
it was definitely the sentiment.
All right, you're the dub master.
Well, the thing is, there's a really nice. It's not really an interview; it's a conversation between the two of you, and it's on YouTube. And it appears to be like in a pub garden.
Yeah. I just wish that I'd seen it before it went out because it's literally just him saying really interesting things for an hour, and then me just going yeah, every 2 seconds.
How the hell am I going to do dub of this pop album? And then it dawned on me, I thought, well, I'm going to have to remake a couple of the tunes. And make them reggae. And easier to dub, right? And then when I met you and you went, a couple, you want to do them all?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great guy to know. He's like just full of life. He's really funny, and he's traveling all over the world all the time, producing lots of different people. And he told me a really funny scenario, and that was when his band Matumbi were a reggae band in the 70s. They were supporting Ian during the Blockheads, and it was the last night of the tour, and they played the show, and Ian came into the dressing room and said that he was going to take everyone on holiday to Barbados, which is where Dennis is from. And the band decided they didn't want to go. They'd had enough of each other. They all wanted to go off. So going on this holiday, it was Ian Dury, Dennis Bovell, and Billy Connolly.
My God.
Imagine that.
The whole High Fidelity thing, right? What's it like watching a fictional film, but they're talking about a real band, and the real band is the band that you're in?
We'd met the guy in New York. I guess he was maybe the producer. We met him in New York, and he'd said, "Oh, we want to use your song in the film." We said, "Yeah, of course, you know, we're just expecting it to be background or whatever." And then that all happened, and you're like, "Fucking hell!"
Who is that?
The Beta Band.
It's good.
I know.
We were at the premiere, and Hugh Laurie was sitting in front of us, and we just kept pinging. We were taking it in turns to ping the back of his ear. It was good. The timing was good for us because we were on tour with Radiohead when that kind of happened. You know, the album that we put out just before we split up would have been quite a big album for us in America had we gone and promoted it.
The lost art of the B-side. There's just tracks now, isn't there? There's not so much A-sides and B-sides. But you've released, I would argue that two of your finest songs are in fact B-sides, and they're two King Biscuit Time B-sides, People Happy and Tears Dry.
I actually listened to People Happy about a month ago, and I thought, fuck, that's a really good track, because both of those were produced I produced them myself in my bedroom in Pittenweem.
Wow.
And if I'd have done them properly in a studio, they could have been really amazing. But they're great as they are. But yeah, I agree, Tears Dry. It crossed my mind to do Tears Dry at the Barbican, you know. With all that stuff, it would have been really, really amazing.
Do you mind if I put out a quick appeal mid-interview? If you haven't heard Tears Dry, which which is the B-side of Kwang Chow, and People Happy was on CIM, wasn't it? They are incredibly good pieces of music, so I'm just appealing to your better senses to seek them out, and I'm sure, and I would hope that Steve would concur.
Check it out. Change your life.
Steve, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure speaking to you about not only your music, but other people's music. Thank you again.
Let's do those cutaways.